Greetings, heroes and Force users of all ages, and welcome back to Inside the Tauntaun, a podcast in the multiverse of fandom. Here we...
In our studio!
If you're listening, we're all together.
Oh my
But
god.
what
For the first time since February of 2020.
What if we actually weren't and we just made this somehow look like this?
Then we would be way better at technology than we actually
You're
are.
right, and we're not.
But as always, I'm Dino Nicandros, and I'm joined by Alyssa Simmons
Hi.
and Daniel Dawson. And today, we are talking the Book of Boba Fett. These are the first two episodes. And the show was created by Robert Rodriguez and Jon Favreau, written by Jon Favreau. The first episode was directed by Robert Rodriguez. The second one was directed by Steph Green.
Seth Green?
Steph Green.
Oh, Seth. Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Good for him.
That would be weird.
And by God, we're Star Wars fans.
Hey!
Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.
Guys.
Oh, wowie. This is so weird and
Very
fun.
weird.
Oh, my word.
Woo.
We haven't done this, as I said, since this pandemic began. Since
Yeah.
before then.
Since
been
before
two-
the,
I
before
think
the
maybe
dark
only
times.
our first 4 or 5 episodes we recorded in person.
Probably.
Is that right?
This is awkward
think.
even looking at you. I keep looking at my screen.
Mhm.
I know. That's where they normally are. But they're here.
But they're here. We even had our headphones on. I was like, guys, we don't need
We don't
those.
need these.
We don't need those.
They're like, oh yeah, we're right next to each other. We can
I'm hearing with my ears.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Happy New Year to all of you.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy 12th day of Christmas.
Aww. Happy Life Day.
Happy...
We still have never covered
Never
Christmas
covered.
special.
Not yet. We still can.
There's still time.
But no, there's no time. We have so many things
No,
that
not
are happening
not
this year.
this year.
Well,
Next.
Oh my God.
Daniel and
Yeah,
I
next
were talking earlier about what 2022 is going to look like for
Oh
us.
my
And we actually got anxiety because we're talking
There's no breaks.
No.
Ever.
all of the Marvel stuff. It's going to be the biggest year in Marvel
I'm thrilled
Ever.
about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes,
Star
anxious,
Wars
sure.
is making a triumphant return
triumphant.
with Obi-Wan and...
Oh my God. Boba Fett.
Is Ahsoka 2022 as well?
I want it to.
I want to
that
say
23?
yes, maybe end of 2022.
Could you
Doesn't have a date
imagine?
yet.
That's so many things.
And then Game of Thrones prequel,
balls.
Halo, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
That's
That's
2023. That's
2023.
That's 2023.
Oh yeah.
but
yeah, yeah.
early 2023.
Yes.
Because
Sure.
they've wrapped season 1.
Oh my God.
Season 1, and they spent how many-
$500 million.
They have spent more money than I can even fathom. I don't know.
I can
I take
fathom
that
it.
back. They purchased the
Yes.
rights to do it and then subsequently spent $500 million.
Yeah, most expensive television
Whoops.
show to ever be made.
Grace
Ever.
the screen.
But that's all right because we're talking Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
We are. This is.
Hey.
Yeah, we need to
Well,
start.
we have to address the hay.
Well, we have to address Daniel.
Have a buddy.
He's been screaming that at us all day.
Ludwig Göransson, who did the score for The Mandalorian, returns for the Book of Boba Fett.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm speaking for myself. It is like one of my favorite Star Wars themes.
It's already
so-
another iconic song.
He writes stuff that feels like Star Wars, but
Mhm.
so interesting.
There's no
Yes.
other Star
Like,
Wars
there's nothing.
song like
yes,
it. Yeah.
and he's using that
Hey.
Well, he's using the hay, and he's using that instrument again, the one that he used a lot in
The
Mando.
didgeridoo?
Is it the didgeridoo, or is there's another one that? Well, I know didgeridoo, yeah, that, but there's another one that we talked about.
Yeah.
It's another instrument.
What does it sound like?
Like
Give
the
me-
Baroque.
give me
You're
a-
talking about like kind of the Baroque sounding music, like kind
No,
of medieval.
I think it's an instrument that originated in China.
Can you kind of sort of make you're an imitator?
You're an imitator.
Yeah, imitate it.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
The Tuscan
There was
Raiders.
a lot of that in episode 2. I'll think of it later.
Okay, that's all right.
I'll think of it, or I'll
No, but
search it.
he's like when his his mentor Hans Zimmer in a lot of ways of making up instruments.
Sure.
We
You're
talked
making
about this
things
a
up
little bit.
again, Zimmer.
We talked about it during our Dune episode that
Yes.
Hans Zimmer is famous for just making up sounds.
I mean, is this not like this show, generally speaking, doesn't it feel kind of like it feels like it feels
You've seen the stroke in real life.
There
And
it
if
is.
you're
There it
watching
is.
this multicast, you have now seen it.
So what it feels like to me is that like where George Lucas veered off from Dune, this show is kind of like picking up and like leaning in.
It especially having just seen Dune recently.
Yeah.
It was so many parts of it, especially episode 2. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa, we're watching like a Star Wars Dune situation.
Yes.
Yes.
And I love it.
Well, and we talked when we were
Generally,
covering.
I liked it.
Generally, I liked it.
Yes.
During Mandalorian, we were talking about how different the music sound. I remember the first time hearing that theme, and this takes it just a step further. Like it doesn't sound like Star Wars, but then it circles back around to like, of course this is in Star Wars,
Right.
And like Boba Fett had kind of a theme song in Empire Strikes Back, but it's really short and not as memorable. This sounds like Boba Fett, but also sounds like Temuera Morrison.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
whatever that means. It
Well, yeah,
sounds
kind
like
of.
Temuera Morrison.
It definitely like for sure has the flavor of his people. I think too.
Well, and it just kind of, and we'll talk about this as we dissect both episodes.
I'll
but
talk about it.
I'll talk about it now.
Right
damn
now.
it. But it really completely morphs the way you think about Boba Fett as a villain. He's always put in the bin of villains.
Villain.
But even just his music,
Yeah.
the first time you hear it, it's like there's something oddly heroic about it. There's
Yeah.
something kind of, there's definitely a pride,
Yeah.
a
A
spirituality
heaviness. Yeah. Like a
to it.
reverence.
And a heaviness. A heavy, like, if
Fat,
anything,
he's fat, right?
He's morbidly
The
obese.
no, he
Boba Fett.
dropped down for these.
He did.
He
He
is
looks-
looking trim.
He is a barrel.
Not that he looked bad before. Like,
No, but he's just like
I buy it. Like
No,
the
he-
passage of time.
lean.
He is a
and-
barrel.
But he's, and you know, it actually works. Like because Mando is
Beefy
5
barrel.
years after this.
Right.
You know, it makes sense. Passage of time. But
5 years. Well, yes,
he's-
right. Partially after and partially before, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But generally speaking. But
Generally.
he's 61 years old,
My God, is he really 61?
and
He
also
looks so good.
He just. There's no way. I mean, that back to tank is really working.
well, he spent a lot of time.
He's
there.
in there a lot.
Which is an interesting convention. But also, shout out to my short king. He's 5'7".
Yes.
He's my height.
Is he really?
Yes.
There's hope.
You
A new
can,
hope,
You
if you
can
will.
be
There is hope.
5'7" and
Aw.
powerful. You
That's-
heard it.
Especially on screen.
Yeah.
He's a scary 5'7".
He's a Tom.
Jeez.
Well, and Tom Hardy's like 5'8".
Well, that's
Oh shit!
Like, they're just compact, scary,
Yeah.
scary. men.
I'm just too tall for movies. and
Yeah, you'll
TV.
never make it. You're too
You're not
tall to
gonna
do
make it.
anything.
Make it.
sorry to tell you this.
That's unfortunate.
5'7's the new 6'5".
I think that the sound
That
that,
being
I
said-
was thinking about before is just kind of like 70s synth.
Oh, sure,
Yep.
sure.
Like it's the different sounds that the
Well, there's
synthesizer.
so
That
much
checks out.
happening. Just, and it's important to pack this music because the music is very intentional in this show in particular because it has kind of the Western. You hear the
Yep.
acoustic. Well, it's kind of a Spanish guitar.
Yeah.
I half believed Robert Rodriguez was playing it himself.
Yeah.
Maybe he was.
Maybe he was.
I hope he was.
But you have
He
kind
was
of
a little busy, so he probably
that Western influence. Then you have the Maori influence,
Yep.
which is Temuera Morrison, New Zealand.
His people.
Then kind of a medieval, which is very much Jabba. Like Jabba has
yep.
always had the Baroque medieval kind of sound to him. And then you have like the really Star Warsy orchestral stuff underneath, and it's just the coolest.
It's so cool.
Hey!
And we have this revamped kind of like tropical version of the Cantina song.
Yes. Very, very guys. The triumphant return.
The Max Rebo band,
He's
and they're down a
Yes.
few members. How did they survive? How did Max Rebo
They
survive? This?
exploded.
Like he must have left the sail barge when he was like, "Well, things are getting dicey."
Let's get an entire show about them. Let's.
the Max Rebo band.
I want to see.
And
Very.
Oh, I was so happy
you
to
should
see
play
him.
like their booker. Like
Yeah,
you book
yeah.
them for all of the Mos Espa gigs.
Yes.
I would love
You
that.
are their agent.
I would like that very much. You hear me? Oh my God, my friend Skylar Bible is in the show. That's so
yes.
cool.
Who do they play?
Tell us. Tell us.
Well, I mean, we'll get to it, but that he was that guy in the episode 2 that we were like, oh, he's the friend in the Tashi
Tashi
Station.
Station.
In Tashi
Station.
Station.
We've seen it. We've seen where the power converters are made.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
She's gonna spell power converters. Very cool.
But we'll get to that. But
yes.
so
They're all over the place right now.
Let's
Whoa.
start generally.
Let's pray.
General. Take your brother's hand.
Take your hands.
Don't touch me.
All right.
Don't touch me. Leave me alone. There's your reference.
Oh, there it is.
did it.
That was good. Good job, good.
So we talked. We've previewed Boba Fett
Yes.
previously, especially last year when
on Boba Fett.
there was a tease for the show at the end of Mandalorian.
Oh man, my nipples were so hard.
But what were your general thoughts leading up to Boba Fett? What did you expect out of it, and what did you want out of it?
oh gosh. Well, I mean, so far it feels like they're kind of delivering exactly what we wanted. I mean, I was just dumbfounded that like the minute that the show started was like, this is exactly what we wanted. I mean, I should say exactly what Patton Oswalt wanted.
But and
Anus.
this article is going around that his filibuster from Parks and Recreation
Yes.
predicted
Yes.
this. He got that from a 1996.
Oh.
Yes.
Like Boba Fett crawling out of the Sarlacc pit
Yes.
has been a thing.
If you don't know what we're talking about, on an episode of Parks and Rec, Patton Oswalt is filibustering this like town hall meeting and reading his Star Wars. Is it just Star Wars?
No.
Is it Star Wars?
No.
It's Star Wars.
He creates a multiverse.
It's like it's a
Yes.
full blown multiverse of like all these different
the
franchises.
X-Men, the Avengers,
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh.
So he is just talking about this like fan fiction that he's
But he
written.
describes like to a T exactly what Jon Favreau put into the show. Like he even says like the like I think.
But
he's-
who wrote
the-
that episode?
the
Because Patton
Gauntlet Maw- it
Patton
was,
Oswalt didn't write
Jon
that
Favreau.
episode.
Well,
Jon
first he
Favreau.
talks about like the twin sons. You see the twin sons, and it pans down, and then
Yes.
literally it's exactly
the armored
that
gauntlet of Boba Fett reaches out of the maw of the Sarlacc.
shot. Just like
So good.
just oh man.
I need to post it. Maybe that'll be the picture that accompanies this post on Instagram when we share this. But there is this great cover from the graphic novel it's from of Boba Fett blasting out of the
So
Sarlacc
cool. Yeah.
mouth with
So
his
cool.
flamethrower. Just
so dope.
I
love seeing more of like what the Sarlacc pit the Sarlacc pit like is like, you know,
Yes.
our first like glimpse of a little like what it is like at Galaxy's Edge. in
well,
that
yeah,
store.
you got a lot of background that these
It's
things
so cool.
first introduced in Return of the Jedi, but these things move around,
Yeah.
and when they're small, they like run.
Right.
There's a graphic novel of like Han and Lando Calrissian running from a Sarlacc.
Very
Oh
spooky.
no. I don't
And they've got like
that.
legs, and then when they become adults, they plant themselves and just basically open their mouth
And just
things
get ready
fall
for
out.
things.
Oh, that is
That's
such
how I want to go.
But there's been a
into a
rage.
Sarlacc.
Yeah.
No. I
And
want to
digested
become
for
a
1,000
like when I get
You
older.
want to
I just
become a Sarlacc.
yeah. I
Well,
just wanna
how
stand there and wait
horrifying
for
is
people
the
to throw
Sarlacc-
things into my mouth.
And I was reading up on it just yesterday on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nerd.
Hey.
Hey.
So the Sarlacc injects its victims with like a neurotoxin.
Okay.
Which,
Oh.
immobilizes
Oh, you can see
them.
that.
Yeah, and it immobilizes them, and then it keeps the victim alive
Ew.
for the duration of its feeding.
So you think that do you think that the
stormtrooper in there?
yeah you think it was alive?
Well, I think he was dead, but
Oh, okay.
He was alive probably for a while.
Right.
But you did see that toxin or whatever. It was like all like sizzling on his
Yes.
on his stuff. Very gross. But I was, thoroughly thrilled. You know, they're again kind of like Mandalorian. It was like it definitely has a very Jon Favreau feel where they're taking their time. Like the whole first episode,
I don't think
almost
anyone
half of it was
speaks
no
for,
speaking.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anyone spoke until
maybe 15, 20
15,
minutes.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was telling Daniel earlier, if I really wanted to go balls to the wall on a creative decision, I wouldn't have let Boba speak the entire episode or until like the end.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
it was quite the way.
Well,
for it to-
it's interesting that you say that. There are a lot of people who think that he should have never spoken.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
shit.
they're
not
all
in
dead
charge.
now.
Missed
They're not in
opportunities.
charge, okay?
Yeah, they're all dead.
Alyssa, what did you want out of Boba Fett? What did you?
I think pretty much the same thing as Daniel.
Stop copying me. Oh,
It's a form of flattery.
that's nice.
I
Take it back.
You can copy me. I think that I was just excited to have another Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni project
Yep.
because I like stylistically just love what they do
Yeah.
so much, and
I
you
would
know
assume that, like, I actually wasn't even paying attention. It's like, is Dave Filoni, like,
he's one of the executive producers.
he is, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, obviously after Ramirez's episode last season
The
of
tragedy.
Mando,
So sick.
I was thrilled that they gave him this show.
So cool.
And stylistically, it's exactly the flavor that you like. It's that, like, you know, Star Wars spaghetti western,
Yes.
equipped with a full-blown train robbery scene,
my God,
which
yes.
we will talk more about. But that was great.
A
I
sick scene.
I feel like with Mando seasons 1 and 2, and now with this, like, there are things that happen where I'm like, I didn't know that I like wanted something like that from
Right.
Star Wars, but now I
Definitely
do.
Yeah.
Because like that was freaking cool, and
I like it.
yeah, I love
it. I want some more of it.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just stylistically and getting to see this, you know, these flashbacks of Boba. It's a really cool device that they set up with the back to tank.
That I didn't see coming, and I love that structure. That was like a cool surprise.
Yeah, that's a cool way to do flashbacks, and not in a
Yeah.
way that like you're in the middle of an action sequence or even in like a, you know, in the middle of a regular scene and then you're hopping back. Like
it's a little Lost-esque,
sure.
but like
Yeah.
but still feels very unique and cool. Yeah.
Totally.
I like it, and I obviously love seeing these flashbacks of, because, you know,
It's dope.
for a character that is so beloved like Boba Fett is, we really know nothing about him.
You know nothing.
No.
of
You know, unless
classical
you've been an avid comic and novel
if
reader.
you were along
like,
for the ride in the 90s in the expanded universe,
I
then-
sure wasn't.
But even then, like, Jango Fett wasn't. If you were an expanded universe fan up until 2002, you didn't know who Boba's dad was. You didn't
Right.
know-
Right,
He
yeah,
wasn't a
yeah.
clone at that point.
Right.
That's a giant
Yeah,
retcon.
right.
Like, it's.
yes.
I mean, even down to the actor Jeremy Bulloch played Boba in Empire Strikes
guy.
Back and Return of the Jedi.
See ya.
Sorry.
So what were
Thanks for your time.
your initial thoughts?
Well, because Boba was considered one of the coolest characters, I thought it was interesting why that was, and it boils down to he just looked cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the literal answer at the beginning. It's like
Cool armor, cool ship.
He has the most bells and whistles out of all the toys.
like
and,
one
you know.
one of the most famous lines from Star Wars is Vader looking to him and saying, "And no disintegrations."
He's
and,
like,
and your mind
"Huh?
goes wandering like,
What else does he do?
what did this guy
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
And we certainly got to see a disintegration in this show already, which was
Yep.
very exciting. I
So
remember like my mouth like gape when it happened. Like just was like boom. Just like he was gone. The man
And he was
disappeared.
he just wasn't there anymore.
So wonderful.
So from that standpoint, it's like, yeah, give me more Boba Fett. I think my concern coming in was coming off the heels of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Would it be just Mandalorian with a Boba Fett skin?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
And no child. No.
and no, yeah,
Grogu.
and no child to lend the emotional anchor.
Yeah.
I was wrong,
I mean, we're only 2 episodes in, but
or not
Yes.
even wrong. I didn't come in with a negative.
Yeah, you just
feeling. I was
you were
excited
just kind
about
of
it. I was like,
your arms were
is
crossed.
this necessary? Is
Yeah.
this show even?
Sure.
It's going to be fun to watch.
I'm always on that boat. Is this necessary? Like, because I know that I want it, but I'm like, does it need to be here? And I think they're definitely making a strong case for it.
Well, right. I mean, does it exist just to please some fanboys who get excited about the idea of Boba Fett killing
yes.
things? And it does that.
Yes.
Because I
The
was one of
answer
them.
is 100%
But-
yes.
Yeah.
But does it also have a deeper meaning beyond that?
But we were talking about how like the music sounded like Tamara Morrison in particular, who we've talked at length, comes from the Maori culture in New Zealand, a proud warrior.
I wonder if they recorded his voice for it. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
We'll look it up.
We'll get back to you.
When you
Later.
think if you've ever seen the Haka dance, and I'm sure if you don't know what I'm talking about, you've seen it. It's a warrior dance from the Maori and
I do that dance every
Polynesian
day.
cultures, and it's
don't
really
know
really
what I do.
cool to witness and incorporating all of that into Boba Fett. And they started this in Mandalorian, incorporating kind of some of those Maori-isms into the character of Boba Fett. Was like, oh my god, this is cool.
Yes.
Well, and it's kind of, I think, incorporating it a little bit into the Tuscan Raiders too, like because they even
yes.
just going fast
learning
forwarding.
about all these sort of different tribes within the Tuscan
Mhm.
Raiders too. That was interesting.
Which is also
And-
very Dune-like as well.
Yes.
But yeah, and their little dance that they did at the end too was like. I
But
think
you know, Tamara Morrison had a say in how that looked
Oh,
and how it
course.
was performed.
Yeah.
yeah,
And,
probably helped choreograph it. Yeah, no doubt.
I'm
Oh, by the way, this episode today is brought to you by no. We this is a very fresh reaction.
we
we just finished
watched
watching
it. We
episode
finished it and then we started.
This is the
recording.
first time that really
So-
we've ever done this.
Yeah.
Truly.
2. Yeah, so these are the
Sure.
barest thoughts
These are
imaginable.
very, very fresh. I mean, of course, we saw episode 1 obviously last
last
week, but we wanted to do a combined episode. So yeah, all the things you're hearing now, hella fresh.
HelloFresh.
No,
Use code HelloFresh.
we're not sponsored, but we.
Oh, I
we
wish.
love that.
Please,
Come on.
HelloFresh.com/
please sponsor us.
Give us your money.
But I'm just really excited that this show wrapped its arms around Tamara Morrison and let this guy be its heart and soul. And he's such a formidable physical presence, but as an actor, like you got to see it a little bit with Django, but like Boba goes through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a brutal, and it could have gotten a lot darker if they wanted to.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
in some places, I kind of wish they did. But I was telling you, Daniel, earlier. I was reading a review that absolutely panned the first episode.
Yes.
Said it was some of the worst television this
You're like,
person had ever seen.
Really, the worst.
Like, I'm not going to mention the author or the publication,
It
but
was me.
They don't deserve our.
they just cited that Tamara Morrison doesn't do anything. Like, it's just dour, and I was like, well, you need to get a bigger screen then, because what this man is doing, like with his eyes,
And his thighs.
I'm just I'm trans,
He's got thickums.
but I'm transfixed by what's going on in this guy's head.
Yeah.
And
He's subtle. He's he's reserved, and then he I don't know. Yeah, but like we've seen him unleash all of that power. Like he saves it.
he
for
goes crazy in the
those fucking
eyes.
nuts. And it's there's so much power behind that he doesn't let it all out at the same time. He's very, very smart, I think.
And he's carrying as
His
those,
economy of energy is
yes,
good.
and those back to tank flashbacks
Yeah.
represent like this kid he suffered.
Yeah.
Big time.
He's been throw up.
And then you think about, if you haven't watched Clone Wars, you kind of get to see him come of age under Cad Bane's tutelage, and then all the bounty hunters he ran with, and
Oh,
how
man, I
rough a life
really
that
hope-
was for him.
That was definitely an expectation that I had, and I
Cad Bane.
really hope that comes
We
to
want Cad
fruition.
Bane,
if not in the first season, at least at
And
some
we
point.
want Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey as Cad Bane, and if it doesn't
all
happen,
right.
we're out.
We're out. Out.
And then
I'm still in, but the correct choice is
yes. Well, and
Matthew
then
McConaughey.
Mace Windu to still be alive so Boba can kill him.
Yeah. That would be sick. Listen, like there is a right and wrong way to do fan service, and I think Disney is starting to.
Boba Fett decapitating Mace Windu is correct.
That is correct. That is correct.
That's it. Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson, like right before it happened, going, "Oh, what the?"
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just. It's
But think about like Django has the famous line, and then Boba echoes it in Mandalorian. I'm just a simple man trying to make his way in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And that line now has just so much weight to it. Like his bounty hunting profession, yes, it's what his dad did, but now we
Right.
understand his dad was a full-blown Mandalorian.
Right.
Yep.
Fought in the Civil War.
Yep.
Like these are warriors who pick up bounty hunting as a means of survival because their people are hunted to almost extinction.
Yep. But
Changes
apparently there's a
everything
bunch
you
of them.
think about him. Even chasing down our dear Han Solo, like that's just a job now.
Right.
Which is for years when you're playing with your action figures in the sandbox, it's like scary, evil Boba Fett and Han Solo. It's like no, like sad,
It's very complicated.
Traumatic.
sad,
like-
traumatized Boba Fett.
Oh my God! Speaking of, and I think that I love this about the show now. Since we got this a little bit of an episode 2, there's a hint of it in episode 1, but definitely in episode 2. It feels like there's this theme, and I feel like this is going to be like an arc that we're going to see kind of maybe come to a close by the end of the season. That he has sort of been struggling, like living in his father's shadow, and he's sort of like trying to break free of that and be his like own man. Maybe I don't know, because like I got like kind of hints of that in the first episode, but then the second is when he had his spiritual guided journey lizard,
His lizard nose.
Oh my gosh.
thing, which was so unique and crazy and weird, and I loved that shit. But yeah, there's the vision that he has of the two trees. There's like a baby tree and a big tree, and he gets like sort of like enwrapped by the big tree, and like he sort of like breaks the branch.
Yeah, it's like he's going in and out of like thinking it's the big tree
The
and the
Sarlacc.
Sarlacc.
Yeah. And like, but like also visions of his dad's helmet and
A great new shot of Camino that
Ooh,
Yes.
did with Logan. I'm forgetting that kid actor's name.
Oh yeah,
Logan,
where is he these days?
He's at every Star Wars con.
Is he?
Yeah, every
Aw.
single one.
Oh.
Missed it.
And he voiced Daniel Logan, and he voiced Boba Fett in Clone Wars. But like it was done digitally, obviously.
Yeah.
But a shot of him watching Slave One take off from
So
Camino.
cool.
That was a cool shot. Really
They
cool.
did a very good job.
And a very interesting kind of dynamic there of like being kind of distraught that his dad is always leaving and not knowing
Yeah.
if he's going to come back. And,
Yeah.
I mean, damn you, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Jedi. Like,
Yeah.
leave them alone. They're
Yeah.
just simple men.
I'm very excited to see like. Yeah, I'm excited to see where these flashbacks sort of like lead to, because assumedly it seems like that's gonna be the common theme through each episode. We're gonna get these flashbacks until we sort of meet up at some cathartic moment. I love it. I think it's cool. It's a really neat way to tell the story.
Agreed. Is there anything for you two so far in the first 2 episodes that you're kind of like, I don't really care about that?
Oh wait, before just because I thought I was like I am definitely very okay with this.
Okay.
But we got, oh god, what are they called? The like
Twi'leks?
The Oh my god, we got a fucking hot ass dude Twi'lek slave dancer man. Oh my
Yes.
god, I am thrilled.
You were
about it.
happy about that.
Yeah, good job, you did it. We all wanted it, especially Dino.
Especially Dino.
I'm not the
Yeah,
one
so
here.
they gave you him, and then they gave the lesbians Jennifer Beals.
Yes, Jennifer Beals.
So the gays are
I had my
happy
time.
We're happy
with the
with-
cantina.
we
I
are
had
happy
my
in the-
time in 1983 when it was
Well, yeah, mine too.
Ula, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
But
Well, welcome to the club, Dan. I'm glad.
I'm glad we got somebody.
we
Yeah.
finally got somebody for me. So now, as far as something that I don't like, I gotta pray about that because honestly, it's been pretty great so far.
I'd say like the first episode, I was enthralled by it, and
you
mostly
weren't.
that's due to both Tamara Morrison and then just seeing Boba Fett in armor is just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just it won't ever not be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little concerned that it didn't cover a ton of ground. I got the sense in the first episode I was like, why does it feel like they're already running out of real estate here? Like I think I get the gist already.
And
Episode 2
Well,
took
we
me
have
and just kind of
just
back to sit down.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be fine. Episode 1 was a proof of concept, and also like Boba's back.
yeah.
It got, you know what the equivalent is, and I don't mean this as a direct comparison. So if you get triggered by this, I'm not sorry because that's not what I'm trying to say.
He's not sorry.
The episode 2 of Boba Fett was like The Last Jedi
Oh, okay, interesting.
in terms of like what it does with our understanding of Star Wars.
Definitely
Not just
the-
Boba Fett, but like the Tuscan Raider
for hundreds.
Yeah.
civilization.
Yeah.
Yes.
And-
yes.
We think of them clubbing Luke and torturing Shmi Skywalker.
Yeah. Right.
That's our lasting image of them.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Turns out that not all Tuscan Raiders are so bad.
Well, turns out, they have families and
Their land is
their
encroached
land
on.
is
But
everyone
they
is
They even but they really did. They went to not great lengths, but like just with like one line, they more or less explained the actions of the Tuscan Raiders in some of the previous films.
And do you remember like the season premiere of Mando season 2 when they're helping the Tuscans fight the Krayt Dragon?
yes.
right?
That was some of the most badass Star Wars I'd ever seen. It's like
Unreal.
you've already started to reframe them, so I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool thing to do with a franchise that's been around for so long. And I think, at least we can appreciate that being like, okay, here are these characters and you know them like this. Why do you know them like this? And because we are, getting some flashbacky stuff. You get
Flashbacky.
Right.
Flashbackies.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I might be really stupid, stupid,
It's quite possible.
stupid Star Wars fan. But Tuscan Raiders,
Yes.
we always see them how they are with like their things and their wrappings and their.
Yes.
We've never seen one naked. Have we?
One.
We have.
No, this doesn't exist anymore. This was wiped away with the old canon.
Oh, okay.
But there was a Jedi who escaped the Purge.
Oh.
So he's not really a Tuscan Raider, but
So you're a liar. Got it.
but he dons like the mask and everything.
All the things.
And this guy turns out and he becomes a Sith Lord.
Oh.
And like,
Is it a novel? What is this in?
well, this was a long running series. I think it started in the late 90s, or maybe it was early 2000s.
Series of books.
Comics. There was some books as well, and he becomes the Sith Lord Darth Krayt.
Oh,
And he takes the
I've
Krayt
heard that
Dragon
name.
as his kind of moniker.
I need to look at him.
I've heard that name.
But it then jumps like 150 years in the future, and he forms a new empire.
he's still alive.
and he's hunting down the ancestors of Luke Skywalker.
Dang.
But he was the one Tuscan Raider who had been demasked, unmasked.
Oh, that. Mm-hmm.
Asherad
familiar to
Het.
me. So wait, now tell me again.
Yeah.
So our Tuscan Raiders, like, they're a tribe. They're tribes. They're
Many tribes.
Many
Yes.
tribes. So I'm that's what I'm curious about is whether or not we're gonna get are they a race of people? Are they just like a hodgepodge of races of different beings? And
I would think of them, and this is just my opinion, I would think of them, especially after this episode, as either Native American
okay,
with some Native American influences.
Sure.
So different tribes, but
Yeah,
of the same
indigenous
race.
of the same
people.
race.
Or Bedouins from the Arabian desert.
Well, or the the Dune people.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are Bedouins.
Right.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
But we totally got freaking like all of a sudden what is it? Is it Artaxerxes? Is that the no? Wait, what's the word? Of hey.
What? These are just
Dude.
violent sounds.
Dune. No.
Something in Dune or
yeah, it's what he becomes,
The Fremen?
the
what
gosh,
I'm
I
talking
just
about,
read
right?
the book. Gosh,
Yeah.
his name, the yes,
he becomes like their
The
god.
Messiah.
Yeah, the Messiah. Right. It felt like we had that moment with Boba in this episode where he was like donning their robes and he's
Which was a great explanation for
the
Yes.
Muad'Dib.
there it is.
Muad'Dib. And
Muad'Dib.
then- but what's the other?
The other one is
It's based on Hebrew. It's
yes,
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking
the
of. I think.
Hesser.
Passamasi.
Hatter-
We're butcher-
Passamaquoddy.
Kwisatz Haderach.
There it
Kwisatz
is.
Haderach.
Oh,
Thank-
wosy.
Good lord.
Thank you.
Sorry
Thank
to
you
our
very
Sorry
Hebrew-speaking
about that,
friends.
Oh my
everyone.
God, there's probably so many people yelling
Yelling.
at their radios
Well,
right now.
Uneducated
Oh.
heathens.
Yes.
But yeah, so the Tuscan Raiders get a full Native American, Bedouin, which these peoples have a history of being displaced,
Right.
and fighting in major conflicts.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of one in particular, jumping around. So this is episode 2, and the giant train, the speeder train that's running through the desert.
Which was neat. That was
was
we haven't
cool.
really seen
No.
like a speeder train like that in
No.
Star Wars yet, right?
No, and it's being operated by the Pikes.
Yeah.
Who we've since Solo.
Okay.
We've been
Whoa.
introduced to this crime syndicate
Yeah.
as a rival of Crimson Dawn, and
Yepers.
they're around. They're
World
spice traders.
building.
Yeah.
Which we
Pikes
probably
are scary.
we were supposed to get a sequel to Solo,
Solo.
a long time
Which
ago, and it
may or
probably-
may not still be coming.
right. So this could be their like.
The Pikes have been in the Bounty Hunter Wars. They're like
Right.
they're around.
So this is like their chance to like finally tell their story that they were gonna tell them potentially.
Right. But so this armored speeder train that's running around the desert, it is a direct inspiration from, if any of you have studied World War I before. So in the deserts of Arabia, the Ottomans, who fought with the Germans and the Austrians on that team,
And
they
then you put
built
all your
these,
clothes in there.
like 1914, 1915, built these giant Ottomans. They attacked with these giant
Enormous.
Ottomans.
Why would they do that?
Desert Ottomans.
But they built these giant armored trains with cannons on top of them and laid down tracks and ran them through the desert and
Blue shit
tried
up.
to exterminate the Bedouins.
Oh shit.
And part of the much of the plot of like Lawrence of Arabia is about the Bedouins fighting
Still
back.
haven't seen that.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
really?
Daniel.
I know.
Oh, that's
I
your
don't-
assignment.
I
That's
don't
your
shame
assignment
people-
this week.
yeah, I don't
before
shame people
we record
often.
next.
I know it's.
And I don't
really
even
a
care
shame.
if you like it or not. You
I
just
no,
just
no.
watch it.
I'm certain I'll like it. I'm certain I will.
But that was lovingly ripped from that part of history. But also, and you had mentioned it a bit earlier, the Western aspect, a train robbery. It's a train heist.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
if that.
310 to Yuma. You
and
know, it's
also
like,
Dune because they're moving the spice.
Yeah, there was like straight up spice.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that was also a. They talked about the spice in. Actually in
Solo, right?
in Solo.
but
Yeah.
and also again in the last movie, not Last Jedi, but
Rise of
The Rise of
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
There you go.
Did they
Oh,
mention?
Poe was a spice
Yeah,
runner. That's
Poe-
right.
Poe
Did
was-
they
yeah.
mention the spice also
The spice.
in Bad Batch? Am I
They
making
may
that
have.
up?
Yeah,
because of the Pike,
Because the
like
sisters,
Sid stuff. The Sid.
Oh,
the sisters ran spice for
in the finale or the final season.
well
of
that
Clone
was
Wars,
that
you
was
mean.
yeah, it was also Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Clone Wars, but I think that spice is like mentioned in Bad Batch.
Yes.
I think
Because
you're
of-
right.
but
because-
and it's
Pikes
purely
and-
an economic thing in
Yes.
Yeah.
Star Wars. It's not
We don't see a lot of people taking it and
taking
being
it
like,
or powering their ships with it. Like Dune, it
Sure.
does everything.
it does all the
Yes.
things, right?
But yeah, we're getting we're getting that seedy underground.
Yeah.
They've been laying the foundation for it for a while, and I don't know. This is where Star Wars feels like it needs to live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
This feels new.
Yeah, like we're not
feels...
retreading. Like,
No.
yes, we are looking back, but there's nothing about Boba Fett in this series. It's like, oh,
No.
it's just Boba Fett doing stuff.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I think I'm so excited to see these Hutt twins.
Oh my
further.
God! That was a hype moment for me. Them coming around the corner. I want to know how much of that was a puppet, how heavy they were. Were they like...
Or if it was just like 100% CGI.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Part
They
of
did
me
a
thought it was
wonderful job.
It might be both. Some of it
A little
looked
bit of both.
It probably is a combo.
more
That's
CGI
kind of
than old Jabba did.
Yeah.
Just coming around the corner in that
That-
giant bed. Oh my God.
And
the
the poor people holding
my
up,
God.
they were all just
I
like,
know.
help!
Well, and speaking of giant cameo, if you're a fan of Star Wars comic books of late, there's a Wookiee bounty hunter,
Yes, oh my
Black,
God, that badass Wookiee.
Karantan,
Dang.
Kursantan,
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's it.
Kursantan.
We
yeah,
didn't really hear like a... It was more like a...
he's around in a lot of the comics. He popped in for maybe 2 Dr. Aphra comics that
Oh,
I
really? Oh,
recently
cool.
read. Yeah. Well, because she's around all of this stuff too. That's why I'm like waiting for maybe for her to show up because she deals with Crimson Dawn and the Pikes. Like she runs in all
heavily
those.
in that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could very well see Kira,
Yeah.
I
Amelia
wouldn't.
Clark's character.
I mean, wouldn't that be nice for her? That
she, I
would
mean,
be
she's-
nice.
she has to be
Yes.
running Crimson Dawn
She was
now.
supposed
is.
to get
She
her
easily is.
sequel.
No,
dead.
I want that. She's a big old part in the.
Do you know
in
who
the
else
comics.
we could see? I mean, we could. I mean, it's possible.
It's possible.
For a thing of the pumpkin. We could see. Wait. Yeah, we could. We could see.
Get to it.
We could see Han Solo.
it's it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
So what was interesting about the expanded universe Boba Fett was his obsession with Han Solo after the Sarlacc mess and
Yeah.
hunting him for like 25 years
Uh-huh.
into the future.
What?
And then they
if?
have kind of a cathartic moment where Boba Fett helps Han's children
Yeah.
get out of a couple jams, and then they let bygones be bygones.
God, what?
So like, but that was Boba Fett's identity there. We
I
knew.
gotta
I
really
wonder if they're
curb
gonna.
my expectations because that would be so neat.
What would be neat, but also I wonder if they're just going an opposite. Like Han
Yeah.
Solo was
dealing
was a job,
Yeah.
and that it didn't
It would be much
matter as much as we thought.
Yeah.
It would be much easier for the production team and everybody involved if it was just like a cute little, like, you know, he stops by to pick something up on Tatooine and pieces out, or I don't know what the hell, but he could easily, because he is around, and he is he got, like, after, I don't know how long after, but got more involved with, like, shipping drugs and doing bad things again, right? Like,
Yeah, well, when he and Leia hit a rough patch at some point,
yes, he got back
which
into
I don't believe
the,
has happened yet, but like he
maybe.
Well,
Yeah, because it happened after he
Ben
had
Ben is born,
right.
So
right.
we're still a ways off from
yeah,
that.
yeah.
More interesting, but not unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
There definitely is the possibility all those bounty hunters he ran with or competed against to find Solo
Sure.
are around. IG-88,
Yep.
Bosk,
There's definitely hints of
Trandoshan.
that. They look so cool too.
Dengar. Like these guys are. That would be epic.
It would be very
Yeah.
There's
epic.
a smackdown of
Cad Bane and all those guys.
I
Oh
think
my
I would like.
God.
I think I would like that more than them bringing Han Solo.
like
Yeah.
there's no relationship in the movies. Like, that-
Also, I think once they start, if they like, you're like, oh, Mandalorian got Luke, and then this show gets Han. You know, it starts to become
the galaxy
like
is tiny.
yeah, right,
Yeah,
right,
let's
right.
focus on other
I
stuff.
mean, I wouldn't be angry, but I would
No.
start to. But I think you're right. It could start cheapening the you know, I mean, Luke's arrival. If you had told me that they were gonna do that, I might have been like, oh no, don't do that. But when it happened,
Well, because I think we even talked about it. We were like, oh, that feels like the obvious choice. Like,
Yeah.
but then
It's
but then it
Oh my
went. But
God.
then when it happened, it really,
It devastated me.
really got all
It was
three
the
of
only
us.
choice.
Woo!
It was the
We
only.
were
I
like,
didn't
okay,
know.
so sorry. So
So-
sorry we said
We're
that
idiots.
earlier.
I think it's good to like curb your expectations and to be like, nah, that wouldn't happen. And also, if it did, that'd be stupid because when it does happen, it'll be great.
Yes.
That being said, please, Cad Bane.
Oh
Please.
my God! Please, Cad Bane.
Please, Cad Bane.
Fuck.
Just because, I mean, even if it's not Matthew McConaughey,
No,
seeing live action Cad Bane,
would be really sick.
that'd be so awesome.
I'm curious how they would do it, like, because like he is kind of like he's like obviously a humanoid, but like still kind of different shaped, like
well, he's a they're called Duros, and they're blue skinned,
and pretty
orange
skinny
eyed.
and
They can do it with like prosthetics and stuff, though. You think that you
Sure,
think
that-
that they would correct like the actual physical like body? Is
well,
that what
yeah,
you're
because
saying?
like you'd have to be like a super skinny guy.
Well, you could do kind of like what they did with Ray Fiennes as Voldemort, where
Oh,
like
yeah.
you just smooth
Oh.
over the hard
Yeah,
edges
yeah.
with CGI, and the rest
Sure.
is makeup.
Sure,
like they remove
sure.
his nose with CGI.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I approve of that.
and
I'll do it.
Like you have the same questions about Thrawn. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah.
are you gonna actually let his eyes kind of glow red, or are you going to take a liberty and like give him like eyes?
Yeah,
Because some
Yeah,
things might not
yeah.
translate from the pages of a
Uh-huh.
graphic novel, but
or the cartoons.
Yes.
yeah, no, Cad Bane with that.
Please,
that,
Cad Bane.
that 15-gallon hat.
Please.
Yes. I just see it working so well in this series. Like
I want that.
even from the 2 episodes that we've gotten so far, it just feels like it would just be like,
Well,
It's in it.
and we're gonna get to it soon, but there's
Why not now, Dino?
the Godfather element of this.
Uh-huh.
That's what was hinted in the trailer, and it's like, oh, we're getting Godfather in space.
Yeah,
And that's still coming, but him having to navigate Tatooine politics and
the mayor and
the mayor,
and the
who
Hutts.
played by Robert Rodriguez,
and these
the
are
mayor.
cousins.
Yes,
of the
these are
Hutts.
Jabba's cousins.
Yes.
Yes, who we haven't seen yet,
No.
right? These are brand new.
We don't even have
characters.
names on them yet.
I mean, we did know that the Hutts had like Jabba the Hutt had family. We did,
Yeah,
we
well,
already-
and
Yes, yes, yes.
Phantom Menace, he's hanging out with Gardula, and
right.
and
And in Clone Wars, we see
plenty of Hutts.
Yeah, so
and
that's
they talk about
not a reach.
Hut space a little bit in this episode, like Hut territory. They have their own corner of the galaxy, and
Ooh, I loved their version of like a scroll. You know, here
Oh,
like the thing that
yes.
folded out and was
Yeah.
like the hologram shit. That was cool. I like that prop.
so the turf war aspect is going to be really cool to
Yeah.
to dig into, I think. And I think maybe to go back to a question you asked at the beginning, like what maybe I haven't liked so much thus far, and I'm okay with it for the moment, is Fennec.
Oh, she's very
She
underutilized
feels-
so far.
Yeah, she just feels like a sort of like a bodyguard.
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
I mean she is.
I know
like-
she
like there's
is,
She's
but like,
definitely she's
but she's
so
like,
much more than that.
Yeah, because like especially like in Mando and stuff, like they're partners,
Right.
You know.
I mean, yes, this is called the Boba Fett show, so we should expect
Well,
it
and-
to like.
I
not
see them as
really-
equals in this, but like there's just not a ton of fleshing out of her.
yeah,
well, and,
hopefully
a
we get more of her because I love her.
I would assume that we're gonna get more of her, but I'm curious if it's gonna be in the show or if they're reserving that for maybe something else. I mean, this would be a perfect opportunity, but the fact that it is called the Book of Boba Fett, like I'm sure they're kind of like let's give it all the resources of the show
Yeah.
to this one guy.
Her do you follow Ming-Na Wen on Instagram?
No,
Do
I
either
don't.
of you?
I don't know if I do.
She's been posting like the cutest things ever.
Oh, I bet.
Like the day that the show came out, she posted like, like the opening credits or whatever, just like on her Instagram, and she was like, "I'm watching it by myself. I won't let my family or anything
Aw.
watch it with me." She's like, "I was so nervous." I was like, "Gosh, she's so cute."
That's
like,
adorable.
Yeah, she was like, I gotta watch it the first time by myself, and then And then I'll let my family watch it with me.
She's great.
She's so good.
She's really great. And like, so I think that, like, piggybacking on what you said, it's not that we're like, oh, she's, you know, she could be doing so much better. It's just that we love her so much that we want her to be utilized more.
Yeah.
And I mean, we got to see, like, you know, some cool fight scene in the, like, the first, like, oh my God, the random, like Tatooine parkour, which was really cool.
Yes, that
cool.
was cool.
And that was a big set. I mean, at least they made it look really big, but I think it was big. Like that really like interesting like fish eye like angle that they were giving us from the rooftops.
And all I could think of as they were like jumping to and from rooftops is how dope it would be. Disneyland, are you listening? If you would actually do something at Galaxy's Edge.
They're not going to do that. They're not
because
gonna do it.
Those buildings and everything are built.
Why
for
is
that.
Boba
It'd
Fett
be
not
so
walking
cool.
around Galaxy's Edge?
He will be. He will be soon. He will be soon.
Is that like a?
And
Well, yeah,
Fennec.
because they're.
Oh, because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would. I mean, what mean? Like, do you know that?
I don't know, but
Okay.
yeah, it's.
It
gonna
would be
happen.
very weird if it.
Like I get why
gonna
Rey and Kylo Ren are there. I mean, because
No, it's gonna
everybody
happen
wants
because
that.
like over at DCA they've got all of the Eternals. They've got
Right.
Yeah.
all of them. Oh my gosh! Wow, that's a lot of people.
they've got all like the new characters. They've got like,
But some of them are gay.
how could they have them there?
Oh my
in
god!
front of the children.
No, the children.
I don't know why that surprises me a little bit. Not to get on a tangent, but the Eternals kind of seem like the least identifiable by kids at this point.
Well,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And,
And,
like, what-
maybe it was just for
Yeah.
like a limited time.
Could be.
Well, and
while the movie was
also,
still in theaters. It's
like-
about to be out of theaters, right? Well, it's about to be on Disney Plus like any
Yep.
second.
Yeah.
now,
I'd be
so.
curious too. Like you know, yeah. I mean, I know that like Avengers Campus is like sort of this is not we're gonna go down this tangent, but Avengers Campus like is sort of like in the multiverse.
Yeah.
So it like exists not within the universe
Yeah,
that
because
we
they've
know.
got President Loki and like
yeah.
they've got,
So they're you know, but like in the universe that we know, the Eternals are kind of like sort of taking a back seat and like not making themselves super known
right.
to the world. So them being in Avengers Campus taking pictures of people seems very out of character. But like,
Yeah,
I guess
it's weird,
that's sort
but
of
I mean, I also think that like they did themselves a huge disservice by setting Galaxy's Edge by putting
100%.
Batu
Yeah.
in the timeline that they put it
yeah,
in.
yeah. This has been
Like,
I think
Are you
pretty much
kidding?
every
Why on
single-
Earth not put it in a broader time so you can have Luke and Han and Leia and Darth Vader? Like,
And if you honestly, if
anyways,
you
we could go on about this.
yeah,
for a long time, but-
it would be a fairly easy thing to retcon, and I don't think anybody would care.
I don't either. I think that people would be like, okay, great, now we can see those characters here.
Keep the rides the same.
Sure,
that's
that's
fine.
That's
yeah.
fine. But like the stuff around the park.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Oh, Book of Boba Fett. Right.
are you listening?
Boba Fett.
Listening, Disney.
Are you listening, Walt Iger? Walt
Well,
Iger J.
speaking of the sets, you talked about the parkour on the sets. Oh my god!
So cool.
Like getting to see Jabba's palace from every angle, and
Yeah.
how opulent it is, and all the different rooms, and
And how big Mos
Espa.
Espa is.
Also interesting that this is the first time we've been back to Mos Espa since Attack of the Clones,
Right?
Yeah.
because Mos Eisley is the city from
That's the
the
little
original
city.
trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you think of, the cantina, all of that. That's Mos Eisley. This is where the pod races were held. Like this is the big
Big
city.
place.
So it's cool to have that context, and then the use of the Rancor pit to
So great.
scare
That
people.
was great.
Okay, so there was. I mean, I'm assuming you guys probably went there too, but like, were you thinking that like the baby Rancor that we saw in what's that show called that we just
Bad Batch?
The Bad Batch was gonna show up?
Oh, I didn't even
I
go there, but that would be funny.
That
and
would
cool.
be fun. I mean, I guess it's possible that he still could, or she could still. I can't.
What was that
remember.
baby? What was that Rancor called?
I don't
I know, it had
remember.
a
I just
name.
didn't
It had
care.
a name. It was so cute.
We were
Did a
pretty
baby
tired.
Rancor-
We were pretty tired from Bad Batch at
We
that point.
were pretty tired.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was like just get to it. Like get to the
Get to the
Bad
point.
Batch part.
Yeah, right.
They only did in like about 3 episodes.
It's
So
like we could have. Yeah. Anyway.
anyhow.
Yeah, but now that we're like second what do you call it? Second episode in, I don't think we're gonna see what's her face,
Omega.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, we don't. Like we have a guess as to what their relationship is, but
Yeah,
they wouldn't know each other. Like
No.
it'd be
a bit of a stretch.
and it would be a lot to explain.
And, well,
in
yeah,
maybe,
it wouldn't
like,
mean
a
anything
episode.
to somebody who didn't watch Bad Batch,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not,
Like-
so they would have to literally explain
I mean,
everything.
Yeah, it would matter as like, oh, his genetic sister, cool.
Neato.
Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is another case of we say that and then we'll see it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, "Ah!"
Oh my god, he has family now. He thought he didn't have family, but now we do.
Well, and that's an interesting thing. So what will Boba's journey look like here? Is it
Boba journey, Boba
is it a search for renewed meaning? Because he even says when he shows up at the mayor's office after the mayor seemingly tries to have him killed, but we
because he
find out
says
it's
he's not.
But he says, I'm not a bounty hunter. And everyone's
Right.
like, well, okay. But he's working really hard to shed that mantle.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the visualization of him like breaking free
out
of the
of his-
branches. You know
out
what I
of
mean?
his dad's like shadow.
Yeah, I think that's the arc. I think
But is there a yearning for
purpose,
purpose and relationships and
maybe. Yeah,
humanity? Which I can't even believe we're having this discussion
Well,
about Boba Fett.
I know, right?
I know, it's kind of trippy.
I don't see there ever being like a love interest.
Not even that, just-
that doesn't feel
just-
right. But who knows? I
Just
guess,
like
but,
story arc or character arc in general.
Yeah, companionship and I mean, he
That
has
seems
kind
right
of-
because like in this, episode 2 with the Tuscan Raiders, like he could very easily have, when he said like let me go and help you so that we can stop the train. He could have just like pieced out.
totally.
But he kind of has become this like, pseudo member of this community now, and they've taken him in and cared for him. And yeah, I think that's interesting that I would like it if they went on that sort of like family arc thing.
I think so. You just kind of inspired me because like if they are indeed going super deeper into their Dune roots, and they're having like problems with these like factions of like bad people, I can absolutely see like this episode specifically as like a preview of what's to come, like that we could see like an army of Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah,
Which would be very cool.
and loud.
Yay!
It's just we talked about it earlier, the reconciling with them of the bad stuff we saw them do.
Yeah, they definitely
Like
killed Anakin's mom.
you helped create Darth Vader. people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, really.
But I think like
there's a misunderstanding.
yeah, and so that makes sense that
tragic
we're putting
misunderstanding.
them with Boba
A tragic
Yeah.
because
Tragic cases.
because it's tragic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all that we know of his like backstory so far is tragic.
Right.
So
Well, and it's towards the end of episode 2 when he's sitting there in front of the Pikes and delivers some of the best lines in the show thus far about how you their ancestors laid claim to these lands, and you will not pass through here again without paying them a toll. And I was like,
Bitch.
"Ooh."
that's it.
He did it.
Yeah.
That's what you call reparations.
And what we learned about Tatooine through that, like the Dune Sea was a sea,
Right.
like of course, but
Of course.
we've never really thought about that, and that their ancestors lived to see it not be one anymore, which is an interesting.
And it's called the Dune Sea. Oh.
So yeah, I mean, between Boba Fett and the Tuscan Raiders, I can't believe we're having any sort of substantive conversation about either of them.
Truly. If you went back in time, my God, like, yeah, and if we were just like spitballing, like, what if this? Like, oh my God.
I mean, so many of the things that we've gotten in the last couple of years
are that.
Yeah. If someone were to say, there's going to be like a little baby version of Yoda.
Shut up, nerd.
I mean,
And
like,
the
I want to
world-
see that, but like, okay.
And
Yeah.
the world will join hands and on bended knee worship this as
Oh my god.
the savior of the pandemic.
Literally.
Yeah.
Truly. Oh, little I miss
I've
I
never
miss him
seen-
so
I miss him
much.
too.
I've never seen people of all stripes be so united in the cause of something's protection.
United in
as-
Grogu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw down for that child. That
Oh.
imaginary, not real child.
Puppet
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah. The power of puppetry.
I hope we see Grogu again.
Oh, we will.
We will because
We
they
will.
need to sell toys.
Well, yeah,
That's
they
it.
need
That's
to make
easy
that
as that,
money,
yeah.
honey.
The
Not in this
only
show, though.
thing that I didn't like was the lizard going up the nose.
Oh,
So what-
well,
I didn't care for that.
I thought that was, well,
I thought
because I know you're not really into, like, graphic stuff.
No,
Is it
it's
mostly because
just-
of that, or just because it was weird and, like...
Well, I just didn't like. I'm never gonna be able to unsee that.
Yeah.
So anytime I see a lizard now, I'm gonna think about it,
It was
going
pretty
into
graphic.
my
A
brain.
hallucinogenic lizard. I
I'm
mean,
obsessed.
And also like a
Well,
a Star Wars like acid trip moment. Like we've never seen that.
It was like
that
a-
was Dune.
That was very
yeah,
Dune.
it
Dune.
was.
That was
Fever
very
dreams,
Dune.
Spice
It
Fever
totally
dream.
But there was
yeah.
there was two things that happened, and I'll have to watch it again, but it looked like they blew like the spice
They
And
did.
the
into
lizard
his face,
followed
They did,
and
yeah.
then the lizard
Yes.
went in. So it's like a 1-2
Two-
punch kind of a situation, and I'm not sure. I think that obviously the spice has probably got some sort of hypnotic thing, but like the
Goes in his
the
head.
lizard goes and maybe connects with his brain, or like just the lizard has like some kind of poisonous
Yeah.
secretions that makes him kind of like where the it's the same thing as like licking the back of a frog, like
Yes.
that whole thing, that whole thing.
The lick in the back of the
Yeah, I do.
frog. Yeah, I just there's a lot of little lizards that like to hang out on my
lizard.
my porch, and now I'm just always
well, now they're going to
think
lead you to your destiny.
They
Unless
are.
you
I'm
just
gonna
need
have
to
an
shove
acid
one up
trip.
your face.
You're gonna come back to
Gonna get
your
my branch and make
Exactly.
my Tuscan Raider
The
staff.
gaffy stick.
Your wife is like, what's the stick for, hun?
Spiky black
And
stick.
unless it's just
Babe. Yeah. Hey! Oh my god, your dog is gonna be so upset.
Oh, Dundee would not care for that. No.
But he'll be happy about the stick.
He would.
He would.
Yeah. Little turd.
How about comedic Boba Fett?
Yeah, that'd be
Yep.
interesting. We
Well,
we
we-
got like a little bit of
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
Him on the speeder bike.
like teaching them how to ride quote unquote horses.
It was
like
very cute.
That's what it is. It's just the Western trope of I will teach you and then we will go forth and do.
Yeah,
And
we
Yeah.
got a
you have
very
it in Mando as well.
yes.
And they're riding the blurgs and
Mm-hmm.
but just teaching them how to ride these speed. It was
Yeah, we got like several
It
like
feels so
semi
out there.
montages. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Like Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And some people hear that and go, "Oh, it's like Luke
no.
milking that giant creature, or,
But
or
I
the
don't know.
sacred Jedi texts." And
I feel like there's always like some level of like it can't all be fucking serious. That's like,
No.
yeah,
No.
It's you gotta.
it's
you
just
gotta,
a welcome surprise.
Yeah.
and it's jarring when you first see it. It's like, wait,
It's
wait,
Jar Jarring.
It's Jar Jar.
Misa Usa Boba Fett.
Jar Jar was jarring.
No, Jar Jar's a literal clown on Naboo at this time.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. That's canon.
That's not a joke.
Right. That is actual.
It's not
canon.
a joke.
What was that from again?
The Aftermath.
That's right.
Which also introduced Cobb Vanth wearing Boba Fett's armor. It's
Right.
the same book.
Right.
So maybe we'll see Clown Jar
Oh
Jar
my
atoning for his
God.
sins.
Oh,
my
please,
God.
fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
How sad. Like,
He effed up.
but like to see that in live action, that would be fucking sad.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
they're on a reframing kick right now. Like
yeah.
we're gonna say that would be an interesting question to pose you guys listening or watching.
Uh-huh.
What thing from Star Wars thus far, it could be from any of the trilogies, any
Mm-hmm.
of the shows, would you like to see in a different light, or would you like to
Jar
see
Jar
more
Binks.
of? Like akin something so far out there, like Jar Jar Binks, but a
Yeah.
dramatization of.
Poor Jar Jar.
his epic fall from grace, giving Emperor Palpatine
Oh my
the keys
God.
to the galaxy.
Could you imagine how fucking sad that would be?
You got all the Jedi killed. Congrats.
Also, I mean, I think I said this before, but like, I don't know. No, I wouldn't want to see a dramatic. I would like to see like I would want to see a comedy, a sitcom with Bubba Freak.
Babu
yes.
Frick.
Babu Frick.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be good.
Yeah. Hey!
That's the new laugh track.
Yeah.
Hey!
He's just the fucking best.
Is he?
He really is.
You know what else we've learned
Yes.
over the course of these series and some of the recent animated shows? The Jawas are the ones who are bad.
Yeah.
They are very bad.
How about that? Like the Tuscan Jawa dynamic. The Jawas are the awful ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
They'll strip you bare before you even
and didn't
realize
even
it.
like left him there for dead because like they took his stuff and then just left. They knew he was still alive.
Yeah. They just like
They
poked
just steal.
him and took
Yeah.
all of his stuff.
They're awful.
I mean, truthfully, they may know who he was.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
He's
You
some
don't
guy
think?
who's just like,
Yeah, I don't feel like they knew.
Probably not.
Bunch of dicks.
Bunch of dicks. But yeah, they left him. They left him for dead. And
they try to cheat Uncle Owen and Luke out of a working droid.
yeah,
Yeah.
they did do that.
They've been jerks since the beginning.
Rude.
Yeah.
But their
Bunch of
voices
kid
are so
jerks.
cute.
They are cute.
They didn't say Houdini once.
Houdini.
Yeah, they didn't say it. I was waiting for
Yeah.
it. But I guess you can't. Yeah, you can't like.
We get it.
Yeah, you
Like-
can't do it every time.
No, we
No.
get it.
Yeah.
No.
Houdini. Have we learned any Tuscan Raider
Sign language?
sign language yet? Do we know like how to say things yet?
Stop.
No. Yeah, there you go.
Something about hide, right? Like
When did they introduce sign?
It was Mando.
Season 2.
Oh,
It's such a cool
that-
idea.
That was-
love the sign language.
Giving them the ability to communicate beyond that awful sound.
That
Changes everything.
We need that.
Was
We
the
need that.
humanization.
That alone, and then like, seeing them with their kids,
Their children,
and
right.
like done. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I buy these people.
That might be another arc that we see in this too, actually. Like sort of the like faux father-son arc, you know, because he has like this sort of really interesting relationship with this child. When he was carrying the child to the funeral fire, like I
gosh.
thought it was that kid, and I was like, no! I got so scared and sad, but thankfully it was some
Another
other
one.
stupid kid.
I didn't care about that
I don't
kid.
give a
being
shit
shot.
about
I
that
want to
kid.
die.
No, but like, so yeah, I'm curious if whether or not, like, you know, because it feels like we've gotten sort of a, like a little taste of it. I don't know if that's going to be like the overarching arc, but we might get a little bit of that, like him, because he's never had that.
Right.
Like he had a father, but he's never fathered somebody else before.
Well, and that's another thing he has to grapple with, like what his role in causing suffering is. 'Cause everywhere Boba Fett goes, someone's dead,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and what be it his fault or not, or by his hand or not. So that's super interesting. And then,
But he gave the dunes back to their people.
yeah, that's pretty cool. That in and of itself kind of makes him a legend.
Yeah.
even though nobody
Yeah.
will ever know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also the aspect of his,
When he let the in the first episode when they killed that like six-legged
The monster.
Oh.
yeah, 4-armed, 2-legged monster.
Desert
my
monster.
God, that looks
Yeah.
something like out of Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was cool. It
That's
was,
a
like,
new.
God.
That's a new Star Wars monster.
New Star Wars
a lot
creature.
of people think it looks like the Kraken.
Yeah.
In
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It looked like something out of Clash of the
There's
Titans.
a little bit of like a little bit of Godzilla in there too.
You're
Yeah.
scary.
Really well animated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was good.
And well, a few things, but the first of all, the fact that he like choked him out like fucking Princess Leia, like he's like, I learned
Yeah.
some things, I know how to choke a lizard.
That's not a euphemism.
I took a lizard choking class once.
I know how to do that.
Go out back and choke the lizard.
But when they came back to the camp, like he let the kid like have all of the glory.
Yeah,
And
he, like, held the head
the
and-
elder knew.
Yeah, he's like, I know.
And hands it. How that episode closed, and he hands him the desert coconut.
Yeah, I
and
get chills about it. It's so cool.
that was neat.
Very
It's like,
cool.
Yeah.
okay, you can stay.
Hey!
But and one I love the little interaction when they're digging for those little desert coconuts, and
Yeah.
he looks over at the dog and he's like, "No hard feelings, mate."
Yeah. You're like, okay, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
Very good.
I
Yeah.
love though that line he has that you heard in all the promotional material. I intend to lead with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see that in every aspect of his character.
Yeah.
Like, he's ruthless, but he's
What I am wondering about
Yes.
is because he's really heavily relying on the back to tank.
Sure.
Like, it feels
he
like
loses a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whenever he's like down, he's like, "Get me to the tank now." You
Right.
know, I'm like, what's gonna happen when they're like not able to get him in there?
your back to tank away.
I mean, on the one hand, we've seen him in Mandalorian, so like
Yeah.
5 years on, he's seemingly less reliant on it.
Well,
Yeah,
but
that's
no,
true.
But the back
That's
to
true.
tank time is present, quote unquote. Like, you know, at least post Mando.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
No. The back to tank is like right after Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
That's him like moving in, because remember, you see the scene in the first episode where Fennec walks in.
No.
Yeah,
no.
it is.
No, because he has now he has his armor, which is post season 2
Post
Mando.
Wait, why am I thinking? Oh, you're so right.
Yeah,
I'm-
we're
you're
seeing
mixing up
before
the
I know.
flashbacks.
You are absolutely
You're
right.
just mixing up the
I'm getting
flashbacks.
all over the place.
No, it's okay.
You're absolutely
but
right.
you're right, because we are seeing both.
He shows up.
right after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
so I just that was
I
something
am-
that I was thinking about. Like, he's really reliant on that, so that's going to be
Yes.
possibly an interesting.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yes, you are totally. I don't know why I was making that.
That's
No, it's
okay.
okay.
It's
But
we're,
it's-
we're flashing forward and back like a
It's
million times per
confusing.
episode.
Yeah. No. In that case, yes. Yikes. He needs it to do anything.
Well, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Gets
his ass kicked
that's what
over
I'm
and over
curious
again.
about, whether or not it's something that that the more he uses it, like the better he'll get, and he won't need it anymore, or if it's something that he's gonna have to rely on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Well-
a curious thing.
And I guess he's been using it because I don't know why. When I think about that scene in particular, I assumed it was to heal from the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
But now
Well,
thinking
he's
like,
definitely getting like a lot more
we're-
color again.
We're 5 years
like
on.
he was like a ghost. He looks like so white,
and that's reframed 5 years on. He's been using it for 5 freaking
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or he's needed that kind of technology,
sure.
or he's just now getting it.
He might be just getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could be.
potentially. Yeah. Very curious. I had another question I was going to ask, and I don't remember what it was.
I do like that he's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That helps in the narrative of like, this isn't just kick-ass Boba Fett.
Yeah,
doing
there's-
kick-ass
there's
things.
So this was
There's
my question I
danger
wanted to
there.
pose: is that, you know, I guess we learned from the Mandalorian that he has the code, like a code that he sticks by. So
Yep.
he's not like, I'm not all bad. I just like work for bad people kind of situation.
Yes.
So, like, I guess he's done a lot of really bad things. So I think is this show gonna be like that? Is that part of the arc? Is him sort of like atoning for a lot of the really bad shit that he's done, or does he really not care? You know?
You know, I would say my hope is that we don't end up seeing him necessarily as a good guy.
Right. It still remains somewhere in this gray
Gray.
area. Do you think that maybe we'll see him like do some spooky things?
I
in
would
this?
hope so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I think
It's
like
not all gonna be roses and
even though
fairy
we know
tales.
they're kind of shady people, I mean, he wanted to kill the Hutt twins
sure.
And
like right then.
and Mandalorians.
But we all want him to do it too.
yeah.
Really.
Mandalorians in general, like, they do earn their reputation of being, you know, Moff Gideon calls them savages, and they're not that.
Sure.
But they earn a reputation for being pretty brutal people.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think of like, if you think of humanity, like the Spartans of ancient Greece, like they're
Yeah.
yikes, like eat your young, kind of,
Ooh,
not literally, but maybe,
maybe.
Maybe.
but just harsh and not so clearly not sociopathic, because we see Boba have compassion, but yeah, not caring.
Right.
It's like that was a job. I don't.
I
I'm
had,
ali- I'm
I
alive.
did
That
what
happened
had
then, and
I did what had to be
I'm
done.
alive, and if
So,
it was
yeah.
me or him.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that I think so everything he does is sort of a means to an end. So like for instance, him being kind to the Tuscan Raiders, is that inevitably indicative of his good, like his actual good nature, or is that a means to an end because he knows that in order to get what he wants and where he needs to be, he needs to, like, because he's basically like, I have to reinvent the wheel now because I don't have my armor, and I need these Tuscan Raiders to sort of teach me their ways so I can survive this horrible desert, and then once they give me what I need, then I'm gonna move on and fuck them all, basically.
I also wonder why he never.
Because we don't know how that where that
we don't know where
transition-
this.
No,
yeah.
and
is.
because it's 5 years, I imagine we'll get to the explanation eventually. But like when he figures out Cobb Vanth is the one running around with his armor,
Yeah.
and why he doesn't do anything about it
Uh-huh.
until when he does.
Well, and he
And
doesn't.
where is
though.
Slave One? Is it still parked at Jabba's palace?
Yeah,
Like,
right. Oh, yeah,
because
right.
you think about it, like when we see Boba in Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
he's wearing his Tuscan garb. Like he's out in the desert. He's been living in the desert.
Right.
Yep.
So is the ship still parked there?
Assumedly.
Or does he go? Does he find
Oh.
it? Someone steal it?
Well,
While he was.
he's. I mean, he may not. That might be part of the thing. I think that maybe he goes to fuck up the Jawas because they were, he knows that they stole all his shit, and they're like, oh, because that'll be his first clue. He's like, I need to get my things. He goes to the Jawas, kicks their ass, and then probably gets his shit back then, but he doesn't find his armor, but like maybe gets he gets tipped off
Or a rival,
something.
yeah, a rival
Yeah.
bounty hunter took the ship or something.
Yeah,
That's an interesting.
interesting.
I would like to see that because I like the sounds that ship makes.
That sounds interesting.
Yes.
That sounds like
Cool-
that sounds like
cool
a season
shit.
2 kind of thing potentially.
Possibly, yeah.
If we don't get one of those giant sonic grenade
Yes.
sound effects,
Bang.
which they had them in the trailer, so I was like, we're gonna see it. At
We
some
got
point.
yeah, we got to get one.
Assumedly.
It's all we want.
Yeah, yeah.
The best part. The best part of the prequels.
His ship actually
Yes,
says pew pew
so
pew.
cool.
His ship
It does.
literally says pew 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 and has the best explosion sound in the
It's
history.
such a
Bam!
yes.
Very,
It's
very
very
dope.
very cool.
So that's generally the first
Generally,
2 episodes. So
Yeah.
I think, as you can tell, we
We hated
kind of
it.
sort of liked it. I guess
Ambivalent.
Ambivalent. I could care less. I don't really care about next
Whatever.
week. I might as well stop.
No, it's cool. We like it.
Yes.
like it.
Yeah. All right.
Now what?
I guess
Now we dance.
you know some nerd has already made one, a dance remix
Oh,
of
I
that.
hope
Dubstep.
so.
Oh, I gotta look it up. If it exists,
It's
I
a
will-
TikTok idea.
If it exists, I will listen to it on my run.
Yeah.
That music slaps.
As the
It
kids
slaps.
say,
It slaps.
it's a bop.
It is.
They
It's
understood the assignment.
No.
It is a banger.
Ludwig Göransson understood the assignment to make music.
Yeah, that was his literal
Literal
job.
assignment.
This is his
Just
job.
paid
Yeah.
a lot of money.
But again, thank you, Patton Oswalt. Thank you so much for,
Yeah,
for
right.
giving us.
He didn't write that monologue. That's what I'm
He
saying. That
did.
episode of Parks and Rec, he
CNN
didn't
took
write
that
it.
and just ran with it, didn't they?
They certainly
Oh,
did.
dear.
But I
They
mean, it
certainly
probably
did.
was like in a stand-up bit of his, and then the writers at Parks and Rec liked it so
Probably.
much.
Well,
so
and Patton
Yes.
Oswalt
Yeah.
is a giant nerd, so
Yeah.
he absolutely read that
Huge.
graphic novel. It
Yeah.
didn't come from nowhere.
100. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been thinking about Boba Fett surviving for his entire adult
Yeah,
life, like
yeah.
the rest of us.
Like the rest
So,
of us. Exactly.
And here we are. We're living in a time where we get
Adult.
to actually.
We're adults.
I like
see that
this
happen. Wow.
universe.
All right, cool. Well, I guess that's it then. Thanks for listening or watching if you watched it.
You're watching us.
What the hell?
This is Inside the Tauntaun, a podcast in the multiverse of fandom. I'm Alyssa Simmons.
And I'm Daniel Dawson.
And I'm Dino Nicandros.
May the Force be with you.
Always.
See ya!
Inside the Tauntaun podcast. Please like and subscribe.